Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the second take of December. I'm feeling fantastic. In fact, I just paid lobola, so I'm feeling really happy. I'm in a celebratory mood. I mean, of course, my wallet isn't. But speaking of a celebratory mood, this is a special episode, part one of two parts, where we head into our stories of the year. These are the stories that absolutely stood out, and the politicians we absolutely enjoyed making fun of. Welcome to the second take.
It's the Premier League, all on DSTV. All the goals, clashes, and moments. All of Rashford, Salah, and Saka.
Their start is getting better and better and better.
All in HD. Available on all these bouquets to choose from. To watch on all these devices. Get DSTV with an HD decoder, free installation, plus 1 month compact for 1,549 Namibian dollars. It's the Premier League, all on DSTV.
It's the season for savings at Vurman Brock. Get an all-rich and creamy ice cream tub for $59.99. 500-gram Rama Original Margarine for $24.99. 2-liter Rietfontein Juice or Sensation for $37.99. 5 kg Rice King Rice for just $89.99. And Huggies Jumbo Packs for only $209.99. See all our specials online at www.vurmanbrock.com. We care.
We start with our first story ever, zoning in on the ousting of long-term dictator Ali Bongo. Recent events in Gabon, where a military coup thrust the Central African nation into turmoil, unseating the president just minutes after he was named the winner of a contested election. Ousted President Ali Bongo Ondimba, also known as Ali Bongo, has faced accusations of election fraud and corruption since he began ruling the oil-rich but poverty-stricken nation nearly 14 years ago. He took over from his father, Omar Bongo, who was the president for 42 years, 1967 to 2009. Now, Gabonese President Ali Bongo, speaking from apparent house arrest on Wednesday, asked the international community to make noise to support him and his family in a video shared widely online after military officers declared they had seized power. So naturally, I wondered why he was not appealing to his local support, fellow patriots and citizens alike. I mean, if you are democratically elected and you have the majority of votes, it's logical to appeal to your people to free you. So I thought I was wrong, because this was the reaction from the people of Gabon. Yep, residents in the capital of Libreville were seen dancing on the streets. In one video, people can be seen shouting "liberated" and waving the Gabonese flag in the Nteng Ayon district of the capital alongside military vehicles. Now I had to ask myself, what did he do to make the people celebrate his demise so emphatically? Well, the answer starts with his father, who I suppose was of the opinion that one simply can't rule for 42 years without affording themselves some benefits, given the sheer effort it takes to convince a nation that the presidency is actually a family business. Omar Bongo had 70 bank accounts, 39 apartments, 2 Ferraris, 6 Mercedes-Benz cars, 3 Porsches, and a Bugatti in France, because why not? So for his son, it only made sense that he followed family tradition, making sure Gabon's oil reserves enriched its rulers, many linked by family ties, and ignoring the frustration growing among the population over the inequality on display. 33.4% of Gabon's population lives in poverty in spite of being oil-rich and only being 2.4 million people. But that didn't stop Ali Bongo from adding spice to what it means to be daddy's boy. For example, he once imported fake snow to the presidential palace so his family could have a snowy Christmas. Okay, so it's safe to say he left a sour taste in many people's mouths, people who would clearly prefer to have food on the table. But things didn't have to be this way. See, Ali Bongo could have changed his fate, not this year, but in the 70s when he was a funk musician going by the stage name Alain Bongo. That's right. He even released an album in 1977 titled A Brand New Man. And perhaps if his father had allowed the African boy to be an artist, Gabonese people wouldn't be asking for the same thing. I have to say, the scenes in Gabon were reminiscent of how things played out in Zimbabwe during the military coup that ousted Robert Mugabe in 2017. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back with more stories of the year.
There's music galore at the VRS Sports Fields come December, when Local Cars Production brings you SA's Mikasa and Paige, along with locals Jared G and DJ Malza on December 2nd. If jazz is more your style, don't miss the smooth sounds of Few Jazz, Casey, Letitia, Major Sevenths, Don Vino and Judith Sepulma on the 3rd. You can enjoy each event individually, or you can easily make a weekend of the two. Get your tickets online via eticket.my.na or at the NMH offices in General Muhammad Murtala Avenue in Eros. Brought to you in conjunction with Republicane, Exhibition and Events Warehouse, Yango, DB Audio and the Winter Country Club. See you there!
Now, on the 10th of September, we looked at the story of the Chinese government allegedly seeking to ban clothing that could hurt other people's feelings. We start in China, where a draft law banning speech and dressing detrimental to the spirit of Chinese people has sparked debate across the country. If the law comes into force, people found guilty could be fined or jailed, but the proposal does not yet spell out what constitutes a violation. The clothing law has drawn immediate reactions from the public, with many online criticizing it as excessive and absurd. The contentious clauses suggest that people who wear or force others to wear clothing and symbols that undermine the spirit or hurt the feelings of the Chinese nation could be detained for up to 15 days and fined up to 5,000 yuan, which is around $680. Talk about a risky situation. Because how does one determine if their clothes will hurt someone's feelings or not? For example, there are very few folks that look better in suits than Chinese people. However, suits come from the Western world, and honestly, so does the overwhelming concern for feelings. Since when were feelings a Chinese thing? The Communist Party makes it a point to appear as strong as possible, and it's because they are. The last thing I would have considered was them being offended by clothing material and style. But then again, I had my own opinions when I saw how Kanye West and his wife have been dressing in Italy, so maybe I should not judge. And naturally, that is not a sentiment shared by the French, because they have decided to ban children in state-run schools from wearing the abaya, the loose-fitting, full-length robe worn by some Muslim women. The same France that has condemned the Taliban's suppression of women. But if I had to get into France's double standards when it comes to freedom, there wouldn't be enough time to consume that political croissant. So I think it's best that we move on. This is still the second take. Do not move your seat. We'll be back with more stories of the year. Zimbabwe's president named his son second in charge at the National Treasury, and we had to have a take on that. Announcing his cabinet on Monday, Mnangagwa said one of his younger sons, David Kudakwashe Mnangagwa, would be second in charge at the Treasury, while appointing a nephew, Tonga Mnangagwa, as deputy minister in the tourism ministry. David Kudakwashe Mnangagwa, who has no experience in government, is an actuary who previously sat on the board of a bank. He also graduated with a law degree about 2 weeks ago at the University of Zimbabwe, and he came into parliament through a youth quota. You know, a lot of people are calling this nepotism, but maybe we are the problem. Maybe we all don't know what it means to put family first. I mean, when a country has one of the worst economies in the world, why look for someone that has the experience of running an economy when you can assign your son, who, in his defense, could have been one of those kids that gets sent to the shops and then comes back with more money than he left with? I just thought that the reason someone seizes power is to do things differently. Because at some point, Mnangagwa was also of the opinion that Grace Mugabe was not qualified to succeed Uncle Bob. But much like Grace's qualifications, just last week, he conferred First Lady Auxilia Mnangagwa a Doctor of Philosophy in Law honorary degree. And again, I think we are all at fault for not seeing a problem with this, or rather for seeing a problem with this. See, we're all thinking selfishly and not considering his marriage. Some wives need more than flowers and dates. Undeserved academic qualifications is how the real husbands of African coups get it done. I don't make the rules. Stick around now. After the break, Stories of the Year continue.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nmh.com.na.
Would you date your political party? Have a look at this story from the 24th of September. Inspired by popular dating apps like Tinder and Bumble, a newly launched app called Your Vote allows users to date political parties by answering a set of questions designed to reveal their political preferences. Instead of matching up those who are single to mingle, the platform hopes to help young South Africans find political parties that align with their values and beliefs. Each party's profile on Your Vote features information sourced from their latest manifestos and websites, but in true dating bio style. For example, the DA's profile exclaims, "My ideology is all about liberalism. I'm all for freedom, baby." While the economic freedom fighters proudly declare our slogan, "Our land and jobs now." Users can choose to take things further with a political party, which redirects them to the official website of that party for more information. Now, this is what I'm talking about. I wonder what it would look like in Namibia if political parties were actually potential dates. SWAPO would never want to end the date. LPM might talk too loud. PDM might be too quiet. IPC could find it hard to sit down. And there's a chance that AR orders a Labrador for dinner. Either way, they will need to impress you. And it will be interesting to see how the parties manage to woo the youth vote for the upcoming election. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back with more Stories of the Year.
Taking care of children can be one of the busiest jobs in the world. That's why CrècheGuard is here to give you a little help along the way. Start the day with CrècheGuard's immune syrup to help build a strong immune system. CrècheGuard also offers other tasty supplements, such as omega-3 chews to support brain development. And for healthy little tummies, look for CrècheGuard's range of probiotics that come in drops, sprays, and delicious choc bars. Trust in CrècheGuard every day for healthy little bodies and developing minds.
The next days are not a measurement of time, but the distance from here to the finish line. For the race you are running, for your kids, your career, your health, your future. Not away, but towards it. While the voice in your head reminds you it won't be easy. But by simply swinging your feet towards the floor, you've taken the first step. Grow for it with Stamino Grow. 5-in-1 supplement available at all leading pharmacies.
On the 1st of October, we zoned in on the story of France's ambassador to Niger arriving back in Paris around a month after the military junta ordered his expulsion. France's ambassador to Niger arrived in Paris on Wednesday around a month after the military junta ordered his expulsion and days after President Emmanuel Macron said the diplomat would be pulled out and French troops withdrawn. The junta had ordered French Ambassador Sylvain Itter to leave the country within 48 hours at the end of August in response to what they described as actions by France that were contrary to the interests of Niger. Now, France at first ignored the order. France is that country that takes long to accept a breakup. At first, Niger was like, look, we broke up at our Independence Day, but you never left the house. You keep doing stuff around the house, even though I just want you out. Our relationship is a one-sided affair. You use me for natural resources and you don't pay rent, so this is over. And France was like, I cannot accept it. Like a meal without gluten, I simply cannot accept it. Then after 2 months of the cold shoulder and meals which increasingly tasted bitter, France apparently finally got the point. This is still the second take. Do not move your seat. We'll be back with more stories of the year. Imagine someone giving you an ambulance, then taking it back because they lost an election. Look no further than Ugandan politician Evelyn Anite. Meet Ugandan politician Honorable Evelyn Anite. When she was running for Member of Parliament for the northern town of Koboko, she came up with a brilliant idea. She decided to donate an ambulance to help ease access, especially for women, children, and the elderly, to health facilities. What a good gesture. After all, the two things you want from a politician are the ability to truly empathize with the plight of the most vulnerable and actively working to bridge the gap. It was a beautiful story until she lost the election because the minister proceeded to take the ambulance back. Now, years later, one would assume that the minister understood how disingenuous it was to take back a potentially life-saving gift. I mean, not everyone will be good at everything, and perhaps the people of Koboko felt that she was better suited as a donor than a leader. Either way, this last week on X Twitter, the page Africa Facts Online posted the story of her conditional loyalty to healthcare, and she responded by doubling down, saying, "Thank you for bringing this up. First, it's true I took back my ambulance and I have no apologies for that. Why did I do it? It's because they didn't vote for me. So did you expect me to just walk away with nothing?" Galatians 6 verse 7, she said, "A man reaps what he sows." Wow, she brought religion into it. Imagine if Jesus took back the fish and the loaves of bread, or turned the wine back into water, or pushed Lazarus back into the tomb because the people doubted him and his dad told him he would eventually be crucified. By the way, Honorable Anita was not done. Some folks tried to take her to task, and she had double doses of doubling down for each of them. When one account tweeted, "Indeed, Ugandans, we are so shameless," she responded saying, "Just like the voters, like seriously, why would you vote wrote out someone who has given you an ambulance. Then someone tried to appeal to her conscience, stating that if you decide to help, do so with no strings attached, to which she responded saying that it was not help, it was a conditional grant. Another person went on to call her shameless, saying that she just has the ambulance in her compound, to which she replied saying that she is shameless to the extent that she sold it. There were dozens more replies and direct, non-apologetic responses from Honorable Evelyn Anite, but the exchange that really brought it home was an account that tweeted, "So it's transactional politics." And the minister responded saying, "You mean you don't know?" Jarring as it is, it's probably good that Honorable Evelyn Anite took us behind the veil of pre-election political promises, revealing how little some politicians care about actually helping the communities that give them power. And why is she standing next to that man? Because her reward was becoming the Minister of Privatization and Investment in Uganda. Stick around now. After the break, Stories of the Year continue.
Newsprint Namibia is a web offset printing operation that specializes in the printing of newspapers and commercial inserts. We are the leaders in our industry with the highest quality print work and the shortest turnaround time from computer to print and delivery anywhere in the country daily. Newsprint was established mainly as a newspaper print company, but had to diversify its business to do commercial printing as required in the market. We print commercial inserts previously printed in South Africa in the shortest possible time. We, as an organization, also started printing workbooks for our education system and will also print textbooks for the Namibian market. For more information, please contact print@newsprint.com.
We end the show with one of our heartwarming moments of the year, when several members of the Damara community came together bearing gifts, advice, and good wishes for Miss Namibia, Jamila Uiras, who would later place in the top 20 for Miss Universe.
Sleeve, it should always be incorporated on the Damara dress as is. We have, if she turns a bit around, we have the fine pleats at the back of the dress, which is a must-have on all the Damara dresses. It embodies the beautiful feminine features. You guys know what I'm talking about. And on the front side, we have the L-shaped buttons, as we call them. Also a very important element, which we don't want to omit in our dresses. We also have our the frill. We like to put them differently. You can be innovative with it on the dress. And the dress is correctly worn. It is a full length as it should be. It must cover your ankles. It must never be shorter. And to complement the dress, Jamila is wearing her beautiful cape. And underneath the cape, we have Mr. Horeb that brings out the design of the cape. Amen. And it complements the dress. Without the cape, the dress cannot be worn. Yes. You know? And then she has her necklaces, which is part of the accessories that she must have. She's a beautiful woman representing us. She has her earrings, and this is a complete feature. And I'm going to call on one of the ladies that have prepared the one element that is going to combine this dress. And it is the Charlie. Ne? Kelisa. Aba Kelisa. Furberi ba. Jamila za. Horeb that brings out the design of the cape. Amen. And it complements the dress. Without the cape, the dress cannot be worn. Yes. You know? And then she has her necklaces, which is part of the accessories that she must have. She's a beautiful woman representing us. She has her earrings, and this is a complete feature.
Kai karapti kay Queen. Did I get Jamila Kuirasa? Did I get Jamila Kuiras? I'm fully aware that this is the embodiment and presentation of our beauty and identity, and that it connects us with our heritage and our ancestors. So I appreciate the immense support and the continuous love. I will wear this dress with elegance and pride, and I'll make sure to spread the word, spread the love, and teach Namibians more about our culture. Thank you so much. Okay, Ayos.
Ngaisa, ngorosa, ngoreng uiske, iratansa. Tinga abohana geming.
Do I find it so
Tao
hard
barang ngarisa tira qengisen uisa.
when I know in my heart
Arida kasis.
I'm letting
Aeta maske sika misa.
I'm letting you down every day. Why do I keep on running?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us as we took you through a trip of the stories of the year on Second Take. We have one more episode, or part 2, which is going to be giving us the other stories of the year, but you still get to vote. Let us know on our social media which politicians you really enjoyed making fun of along with us. From me, Ashwyn Mberi, that has been the Second Take.